Welcome to an incredibly special episode of the WildChat. We've got some fresh faces on the podcast today. Huge, monumental win, Northwestern beating Purdue in overtime to secure their second victory against Purdue in back-to-back games in Evanston against the number one ranked team, as my messages are going crazy. It's been a crazy night. I was there. Eliav was there. Kayla was there. Ashleigh and Dylan. I mean, you guys weren't here because you guys are lame and don't take real classes.
We were there in spirit.
We're there in spirit. Talk me through what's going through your mind, because right now all I'm thinking is like Purdue who, essentially.
Also, are you going to introduce Eliav and I?
Yeah, well, yeah, Eliav. Yeah, I mean, you're here. WildChat friends and family. Cool. Go now. Talk.
I mean, I can start. It was a fantastic atmosphere to be a part of for the second time in a row. It was very surreal, to say the least, and I just still can't process that I couldn't process it last time. I can't process it this time. So that's kind of how I'm feeling. Yeah.
Kayla, I know you're new to the Big Banter family. You're being way too tame right now. We're winning the damn natty. We're winning the natty.
Let's
I mean, it's over. Buie is the best player in the nation. Zach Edey is just tall. He can't do anything except be tall and catch and shoot. Bro is bad at the game of basketball. Buie is him, best player in the damn nation. Give him whatever the Heisman of college basketball is, because Buie deserves it. You know, Ty Berry is him as well. And then Matt Nicholson, yeah, I know he fouled out, but Luke Hunger is the next coming of Jesus, basically. I mean, he was all over the floor doing everything. I don't care if he only had 6 points, dude. When he hit that three, you just knew, like prime Steph Curry, except if Steph Curry was 6'10". That's Luke Hunger.
The energy of Luke Hunger is ridiculous. Even when he was fouled out, bro was leading the bench and leading Wild side in getting chants started. Like, I've literally never seen someone so engaged with the crowd. He is the face of Northwestern men's basketball going forward.
Literally,
actually,
he left the court to like essentially a standing ovation, not like actually standing, but a lot of clapping, a lot of cheering. Like, his effort in the second half was critical. But let's go back to Buie. I mean, this game had the two best players in the country on the same floor tonight.
Buie and Matt Nicholson.
Okay, but like actually, let's talk about Buie tonight. 31 points, 9 rebounds, 9 for 10 from the free throw line in the clutch, no turnovers. How huge is that?
Ashleigh?
Man, everyone's just speechless. That's how huge it is.
I mean, it was just remarkable. He did miss the one free throw he missed. Was like almost could have been a killer in the time he missed it, but like he was flawless.
Wait, Adam, can you read those stats one more time?
Oh, I wasn't reading them.
Oh, you were just reciting them.
31 points, 9 boards, 9 for 10 from the line.
0 turnovers.
No turnovers. Northwestern only had 3 turnovers the entire game.
How many did Purdue have?
Offensive fouls too.
Like what?
I'm like fairly sure they were all offensive fouls.
That's our resident stat keeper.
I'm not 100%, but like pretty sure.
Ashleigh, you've been awfully quiet. I mean, what is going through your mind right now? Just tears of joy.
The fact that I wasn't there will haunt me for the rest of my life is what's going through my mind. Also Purdue played like crap. I will hang up. I'm not kidding. Purdue played like crap. Like the first half was fine from them, but the second half was awful. And that if they were playing at their prime, we wouldn't have won. So I'm glad they weren't, essentially.
Yeah, but also if Purdue's playing at their best, nobody in the country is beating them. Like, they are the best team in the country when they're at their best. So
I have an alternate take. Have we considered the fact that Purdue is not good at basketball?
That's what I'm thinking. I've only seen Purdue play when it's against Northwestern, and I am not impressed.
Consider it, and as someone who has watched them play at least 2 or 3 other games, including beating number 3 Marquette, like that's just
washed.
That is not the right team. I'm sorry.
Purdue, here's the thing with Purdue. They are the best team in the country when they're playing well, but they have some severe weaknesses, right? For example, like if they're not hitting the 3 ball, they're kind of screwed. I mean, they really struggled from out behind the arc. And when Northwestern kind of got into their rhythm in the second half and kind of played at their pace, Northwestern dictated the game, right? As soon as like Northwestern was able to chip away from that 8-point deficit going into the second half, right? They made it 6, they made it 5, and they made it 3. Then they were up by 1, then they were up by 3, and it was kind of neck and neck. They were playing at their speed. They slowed the game down. They got into the half court set and really kind of just drove everything that Purdue was doing in the first half to a halt. So the thing is, when Purdue is not making those shots and not making those threes, especially, it's really tough for them, especially if the team across from them is as hot as Northwestern was in the second half.
I also think part of the way we slowed them down was that switching to the hard hedge, especially in the second half, just got the guards out of rhythm. And they were just bad in the second half. Like Braden Smith was not a good player in the second half, and neither was Fletcher Lawyer. And I think that hard hedge with the big every time Edey went to set a screen just kind of forced them to push out and restart their action a lot of time and force some stupid decisions.
Guys, how about Ty Berry and Ryan Langborg?
Oh, I was gonna bring up a different question, but that's okay.
Okay, Kayla, go for it.
Blake Preston, what do we think? I think it's a more controversial question. More controversial.
I really like how Collins utilized the big man situation with the fouls. Obviously, going into halftime, Nicholson in foul trouble. Preston had 2, I think, and Hunger had a couple too. And then you basically start with Nicholson. He got into foul trouble. He had 4 fouls early in the second half. And then you ride Luke Hunger, right? Those Luke Hunger minutes in the middle of the second half were huge. Just literally the only reason that Northwestern was able to kind of stay competitive and stay in there. And then he fouls out. Nicholson comes in for 45-second fouls out. And then Preston, with only 2 fouls, is able to ride.
And he's fresh.
And fresh.
Like it took him a second to get loose again, but he hadn't played since like the 10 or 12 minute mark of the first half. And he had legs that nobody else on the floor had.
And that's how you stop Edey. But offensively, I mean, what Barry and Langborg were able to do, combining for 41 points next to Buie. I mean, this offense is legit.
Wait, how many points did we have? Not Buie, Ty Berry, or Ryan Langborg.
Let me see.
20.
Must have been 20. Yeah.
Barry shot well today. There was 1 3-pointer that I was like, no way in a normal day would he make this, and he made that 3. And I think like it was like the match, it was like the back and forth 3 that I was like, what kind of basketball are we watching right now? Because that did not seem like college. That just did not seem real. And Barry made that 3, and I've never been more impressed with him in my life.
So I know what really happened to Ty Berry. Basically, there's been a big difference so far with Ty Berry between the start of this year and the ending of last year. Do you know what happened in the middle of that? I sat next to him on an airplane from Fort Lauderdale to Chicago.
I was gonna say
that to me sitting next to him on that flight is what has changed it all around for Ty Berry. He's also a great basketball player, and I don't want to discredit him for that, but I feel like I deserve
I don't think we get posted again.
Dylan, consider it's possible that he improved because I'm here now, and I
his biggest huge Ty Berry supporter.
Also, you weren't even here for the Ty Berry poster, Eliab.
Yeah.
Do you even know what that is?
No.
Also, the creation of the WildChat podcast occurred in between the end of last season and the start of this one. So that could also be a reason, for the emergence of Ty Berry.
There could be a lot of reasons. Maybe he's just, putting good shots up in practice and it's like translating to the game, but for some reason that doesn't feel like it.
Maybe he's
what's the fun in that?
David Braun. Because
David Braun being the Big Ten Coach of the Year.
We never made a podcast on that. Do we want to talk David Braun?
Did you guys hear David Braun telling the crowd that we're going to go to the college football playoff?
Low key, though, I agree with him. What is the college football committee doing by not ranking Northwestern in the top 4 right now? You cannot tell me with a straight face that Northwestern is not one of the top 4 best teams in the country. David Braun deserves that. And
and moving ahead. So I think this
Phil Talkie also got robbed of a national championship. They deserve to win it. Lacrosse is back to back.
From the Zoom?
Dylan, what's going on over there, bro?
Northwestern has 7 Big Ten Coach of the Years, during this past year or something. Northwestern sports are on another level right now. Okay. We are on top of the damn world.
So you notice how we just beat Purdue, and you're talking about sports that are not beating Purdue because
except for football, they did just
Purdue. Beat Purdue in every sport.
Wait. Purdue sucks. Time out. 3 field stormings, field/court stormings against Purdue, Northwestern in the calendar year of 2023. I mean, Northwestern just owns Purdue.
Question for the group: who was there for all 3? Raise your hand.
High five.
I was there for the 2 I could have been there for.
I was there for 2 of the 3.
Doesn't really matter if it's 2 out of 3. You weren't there 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
LLL.
That's because I didn't go to the school.
Listen here, Kayla. You will never be invited back on another Big Banter episode again.
But What's
I
even
got
fun-
you, Big Banter, to begin with.
That's true. You were.
What's-
I
what's-
run the Twitter account. I would have
Guys,
seen the DM
guys.
literally like 5 minutes after you.
Guys, this is the least productive.
We can't
jargon
post
I've
any
ever
of
heard in my
this.
life.
I feel like-
What's even
Respectfully,
funnier
Adam,
though
it's
is because
2
okay,
a.m.
Northwestern. Okay, no, it's not. It's 12:54. Get back on Central Time. It's so much better. Northwestern, right? We just beat Purdue by 4 in overtime. We play Detroit Mercy next. 0-7. They're 0-7.
Yeah,
It is going to be a 6-point game.
We're
It's
gonna
going to be
lose
a
that
6-point
game.
game, and we're probably going to lose. This team doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't matter because they play up to competition, they play down to competition. It's regardless of the point. Every single game is going to be a heart attack waiting to happen. And today,
Is
clearly
good heart
we're-
attack.
Good heart attack. But who knows?
If you're
All right, goals for the season. Things we want to see happen that are wacky.
Okay.
National
Happy-
championship.
Okay. Well, that's yeah.
I want to see Gus the Bus get 10 minutes in.
Okay. So I was scared that with all the foul troubles like today, some like Blake Smith or like Gus Hurlbert, because like Nick Martinelli was going to be in there. Maybe he fouls out. Like, who are you putting on Zach Edey? Like the next biggest guy is Gus Hurlbert.
Oh,
Like
boy.
is
Gus the Bus.
is
Blake
all
Barkley.
is
Blake
all
Barkley.
Big Ten warm up team captain Gus Hurlbert making an appearance. Like it needs to happen.
I wanted to see it.
Wait,
I
he's
want-
warm-up team captain?
No. He's okay. He is all
Oh.
Big Ten warm up team captain. Like that's him. Like,
Okay,
that's
that was a
weird.
confusing analogy, but I get it now.
There's going to be a game based on how much these bigs foul. There will be a game where all 3 foul out. Mark my words.
They've got a fouling problem.
Mark my words. And we will see Gus Hurlbert in a basketball game. Or
What do
we'll
we think of the
see
refs?
Barkley guarding centers.
Yes, I think that's more likely.
What do we
It's
think of the
not
refs?
I thought the
Refs
refs
were
were
fine.
decent. I thought they were decent.
There
There
were a
were-
couple calls,
There were a couple
but there's
of
always
ticky-tacks,
gonna be a couple.
but there were ticky tacks and there were ticky tacks against us, and there were calls that they probably should have made that they didn't. I didn't feel like we got a lot of calls that we shouldn't have gotten, but I felt like we got away with some stuff that we probably shouldn't have, and then they got some extra calls.
And do all teams foul Edey that much when they play Purdue? Like, is it just that hard
You
not
kind
to
of have
foul?
to. I mean,
Yeah.
Kayla, I don't know if
Okay.
you've ever played against someone that's 7'4", and can kind of like do
Bully
anything.
you.
Why do you act like I've played basketball?
I don't know. I was just asking.
If
you.
I played against someone
that's
7'4", they could step on me.
Yeah, exactly.
Kayla, what is it like?
Full feet.
Kayla, what is it like when you like stand next to us?
It's like not that bad.
It's
You're
probably
not that
it's
tall.
probably
So
You're
like
imagine that.
It's probably like how Luke Hunger felt guarding Zach Edey tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
So then imagine that, but then add another 6 inches to our height difference, and that's what you get with like Buie trying to like go up against Edey.
Yeah, except that
So you plus
just
6
a
inches is Boo,
Like-
or you plus
like,
6
can we,
inches is
legitimately,
Edey?
like is Boo Buie the
Me
best
plus
player
6
in the Big Ten?
inches versus you is
What?
Boo versus Zach.
those two guys are the
Can
two.
we talk a little bit about this Detroit Mercy team? Because I've been looking into their stats, and like low key, Jaden Stone, like
No, he's kind of nice. He's
could-
averaging like 21 and a half a game on like 44% shooting. Like he's kind
I
of
think we might lose.
Shout out to
I think we
Troy
might-
Mercy for having the second leading scorer in NCAA history, Antoine Davis,
Of course you know
who
that.
just
Of course
graduated.
you know.
Unfortunately, if he was still there,
basketball sicko over here.
If he was-
Also,
he
it
was
would-
there last year.
it would be okay. No. So
Come on now.
we would be remiss not to turn this, WildChat basketball episode into a Malik Mack.
Thank you.
Malik
Thank
Mack
you.
appreciation.
No, I've heard enough about him.
So the country needs to know Malik Mack, Harvard freshman, true freshman, who's absolutely balling out.
22 points, 5 assists, 51% from the field, 49% from 3.
You heard it here first. This guy's going to transfer. He has to.
He's
Come on.
coming to Northwestern.
He's coming to Northwestern. Let's start it now. Okay. So then when it happens, like we can clip this. Okay. So I'm just
Okay.
This is the most disorganized podcast of all time. I'm having so much fun now.
I'm really enjoying this.
It's
I
just
should-
one of
I
my
don't think we can post it.
Yeah, we can post whatever we want.
This is Big Banner.
Yeah, but this is like
Okay. So no.
Right.
So no, this is
base.
this is
Ashley and I
okay.
took a class.
this is okay. No, this is the part of the video where we just start talking. I would use some expletives here. I'm not going to.
We can post whatever.
About Purdue. Because clearly,
They suck.
yeah. Thanks.
3
Kayla.
stormings.
Kayla, respectfully.
Get your umbrellas
I
out.
called Luke Hunger the second coming of Jesus. I don't think it matters what we say on this podcast.
Okay. So like Purdue. Though. like, why are we all laughing?
So I think we
Also,
need to
what
have a
is-
serious
no.
discussion.
Time out. What is with Purdue, like, just losing games to the same team as the number 1 team in the country. Like it happened against Rutgers 2 seasons ago and last year. Northwestern now, obviously last year and this year, like last season and this season. I mean, Purdue is just they're
They don't
bad.
change.
Is Matt Painter not a good coach that he
No,
can't
I think Matt
change
Painter's
up a game plan?
No.
I think
Oh,
that's
whoa, no. Let's start
No.
this. Is Matt Painter a good coach?
no, he's not.
Elite recruiter. He's top 5, maybe top 3 recruiter. in the
Dude is just recruiting people who are tall. That's all he does.
country. Okay, here's the thing.
Bruno's
Matt Painter has a
We
really
can't
good
post
system
things.
built around guys who are insanely tall and have a physical advantage over everyone else they play against, and is really insanely good at recruiting those guys. What he cannot do is make in-game adjustments, even in-season adjustments, somewhat, but especially in-game adjustments when his system is not working.
I have a question. Let's say you take this Purdue team and replace Zach Edey with Hunter Dickinson. Are they a better or a worse
They're
team?
the same team.
I don't
they're
think
worse.
I don't know.
They're
I
worse.
do not think they are the same.
They're
team.
worse.
I think they are a much more versatile team
I
with what Hunter
don't.
Dickinson can do. Hunter Dickinson can make threes
Hunter,
in anyone's
no.
face.
But here's the thing:
Zach Edey isn't shooting threes.
Hunter Dickinson is not shooting 80% on those little hook shots.
That's also true.
And he's not the elite passer the same way Zach Edey is out of the post. Like he's a good passer, but
Very good.
Zach Edey is maybe the best post passer in college basketball.
Zach Edey has been coded to succeed in this Purdue.
Yeah.
In this Purdue team.
I just-
like legitimately someone is sitting behind a computer like hitting buttons. Like that is how well oiled this team is. And you know, the truth is if they're not making their threes, they're just susceptible to losing to anyone.
Yep.
Not that Northwestern is anyone, but lightning strikes twice.
Rank him.
Also, okay, yeah.
But I think
Next segment, where is Northwestern ranked after this? Are they ranked?
No.
I don't think we're ranked.
No.
But they should be.
They should be ranked, right?
I think we're ranked a little further into conference play if we have a few more wins. I don't think we're ranked now. I don't think one wins enough to do that. And I think the next of our next opponents are nothing to prove what we are.
Yeah, I think if we
I will tell you what. In our Big Banter poll, Northwestern will be ranked number 1.
Absolutely. We took down the bench.
You beat the number 1 team in the country. You
And there-
deserve to be number 1.
And there's a reason Big Ten Banter poll isn't the national AP poll.
Whoa. Do not say that here on this WildChat podcast. We here believe that the Big Banter Top 25 poll is the most respected poll in the nation.
except that you just think
Hats off to you.
like,
That's so true.
In the words of David Braun,
Hat. Can we discuss that inside a new article that was just the word hat written and copied and pasted 500 times?
Wait, actually,
Okay,
Yeah.
for
There
those,
was an inside a new article
for
that was
those
just
who
the
weren't in
word
the
hat.
arena though, there's something we have to bring up, which is David Braun being an in-venue host, which was the
Yeah.
funniest thing ever because like I think they like just tried to like force him into this role, and there he is on the big screen, be like,
it's not him.
like not knowing what to do and like not knowing when to talk, and then like the mic volume's not working. And
My
he just
favorite,
sits-
my,
it just
fa- my
it should
favorite
not
was,
have happened.
was Shill on the sideline the entire game.
oh, it's so
and like
funny.
he's hilarious. Like he'd be like smiling half the game, and then half the game he just like would be completely out of
What
it.
is that on? What is that photo on?
I got a text from an unnamed source who told me to like someone who is not allowed to boo shill himself, who told me to boo shill for him.
Mm,
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Okay, it was just a Josh photo.
Interesting.
You know how he has a weird
Ashley,
fisheye lens? It
Ashley,
makes me look weird.
any more thoughts? Just what? Like, come on. Like, I need to hear.
I
something.
don't have any thoughts. I'm just depressed about not being there. This is
Okay.
not my best moment.
Ashley, can we
Oh, that's a
discuss-
good picture though. Is that a Josh picture?
Yeah.
That's a good picture.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley, let's flash back to about 2.5 hours ago. There's 1.3 seconds left in overtime. Northwestern's up by 4. Tyberry is shooting free throws.
There's like 25 people behind me trying to push me onto the court.
What is going through your head right now? And what was your reaction?
Oh, I cried. That was it.
Were they tears of joy
Tears.
or tears of sadness of not being there?
Or were there
Both.
tears of joy into sadness?
Both.
Well, it's been an absolute awesome episode, just talking, bantering all things Northwestern Purdue. Northwestern, another huge win, 7-1 now, 7-1, right? 7-1. Yeah, 7-1 to start the basketball season. Did lose to Mississippi State, but like that's in the past. Like no one even
We're
cares about that.
6-1. Let's get our facts straight. We're 6-1.
Oh, we are. Eliav, what are you doing?
I'm tired.
Dude, it's so late. It doesn't even matter
I'm
anymore.
tired.
Go Cats.
It doesn't matter. We have one loss.
You
and
can
it's
find
not
us.
to
You
Purdue.
can find us on Spotify, YouTube at Big Banter Sports, all that good jazz. WildChat podcast. Follow us. Leave a like and leave a subscribe. Be huge. We really appreciate it. But until then, go Cats.
Does anyone know what a Boilermaker is?
Cats.